Have one kid who has just been having a really hard time lately, a lot of tricky behaviors, a lot of not listening, and here is the conclusion that I've come to. It's me. It is 100% me. And this is a hard pill for a lot of parents to swallow, but when you are a respectful parent, a conscious parent, when you are trying to parent in a way that requires a little bit more skin in the game, you start to realize that most of the time when you're having a really tricky season with your kids, it comes back down to you. You got to call yourself out. And this is not something that just ends one day when you become this perfect parent who's always regulated and always does things exactly the way they're supposed to be. This kid in particular has really not been listening, has had a really hard time controlling their body, has had a really hard time being respectful to others around them in our family lately. And the thing that has changed has been my attitude. The way that I have reacted to situations, the level of patience that I've had. The thing that's really amazing, but that can also be really tricky when you parent this way, is that you realize that you're the source, you're the foundation. Your kids are reflecting everything back to you, especially when they're little. And it's very much becomes apparent where you still have work to do, where you still have triggers, where you still have things that you need to work on, be able to actually show up for your kids in a really calm, confident, caring, and respectful way. Because I have seen very clearly, when I think about the hardest days with my kids in their toddler years, in their like 4, 5, 6 years, the common denominator has always been me being in a bad mood. Because once I'm in a bad mood and then I start like getting on top of them for stuff, being too short, getting annoyed at them more quickly, snapping at them, saying things that like I know I shouldn't say, but that like come out sometimes when you're triggered, that in turn creates more tricky behavior, and then it becomes this cycle. So it always comes back to me. It always comes back to me. I'm the parent in this relationship. I'm the one who's setting the foundation of the energy of our household. I gave myself a little experiment, and I spent one day just not focusing on correcting behavior, but on being respectful, being kind, building connection in. And wouldn't you know it, the behavior was so much better that day. And that does not surprise me one bit. So the point of this video, I guess, is just to remind you that you don't have to be perfect all the time. Nobody is. And if you're having a really hard time in parenting, start with yourself first, because your attitude, your triggers, your behavior is like 95% of it.